Real combat. Real action. Carnage Media.
Welcome back to Carnage Unleashed. Today we got our main event. Quintin Richards and Jimmy Sandlin here today. How you guys doing? I'll start with Q.
I'm doing pretty well. How about you guys yourselves?
Doing well. Jimmy, how about you?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. So I see you're a little bit wet and sweaty. So in the backstage, you said you're getting some wrestling on. How's that heat?
Oh man, I'm used to it. Yeah, I'm kind of, mid-workout. Not really, just kind of warming up right now, just taking a break. Yeah, this ain't nothing, man. Compared to like a sauna, sweating to make weight,
Q, how's the weight cut been going?
It's been going. It's pretty easy. 165 is easier than making 155.
Fair. Nice. So you haven't had too much of an issue, just pretty smooth sailing?
Most part, yeah.
Nice. That's good. So jumping into this event, how do you feel coming into this, Jimmy? You got a lot of experience. You're 9-11, and you had like 12 amateur fights as well. So you've gotten a lot of experience in the ring. So how does that feel coming into this main event?
Oh man, I feel great. I got a lot of experience. A lot of bull craps happened to me in my career. My record's pretty misleading, but I made some really smart and game-changing improvements, and I just think now that I'm in a great position to level up and kind of get my streak going to where it needs to be.
That's awesome. Cool. Q, with that being said, he's got a lot of experience. You 4-0, coming off a main event win. How do you feel going into this fight with him having so much experience and you obviously on this unbeaten streak?
It's a challenge. He's gotten, you said, almost 32 fights total. That's way more than me. So I got a total of 10. This will be the 11th one. So it's definitely a challenge.
Yeah. So and then Jimmy, you're coming off a win. Now, how is that win going to translate into this fight against Q? Do you think that puts you in a good mindset coming into this fight here?
Oh, 100%. It's definitely a much needed win for me, man. Been on the wrong end of some decision losses, and I had a really bad year last year. Just trying to, figure out what weight class, and I had some really bad management. And just, general personal life issues that I had to get over. But yeah, man, I just had that win. This year has been amazing for me, and I just think, everything coming together has my mindset for sure in the right place. And honestly, I've had a lot of fights, but ever since that win and then, this fight right here, it really feels like I know how to fight for like the first time ever.
Okay. All right, that's good. And I see that a lot of your fights have been, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but a majority of your fights have gone the distance. Are you kind of the guy who likes to grind your guys out and try to go for that, or are you looking to try to get into finishing your opponents now?
Yeah, ideally, yeah, I want to get the finish. Yeah. But just my resume, I've gone against some really good competition, former UFC fighters. So it's just like, you get to a certain level and you can't finish everybody. But I've been working to get around that. Like, everybody can be finished. It's just putting myself in the right position.
Right. Okay. Good. And Q, with that's something that you're not used to. Looking at your record, you've got all finishes here in your as a pro. So with someone who's got a lot of experience going all 3 rounds, that's 15 minutes of fighting. That's something that you're not used to. Do you think you're going to have the cardio if this thing goes 3 rounds to be able to hang around with Jimmy?
Oh yeah, we prepared for going the distance every time. Every fight we've had, I've always planned on going the distance.
Okay, good. So do you plan on are you planning on that for this fight, or do you think that you're going to be able to do what you've been doing and get a finish in for this fight?
We'll see. Jimmy's very tough, so we'll see what happens.
Right on.
You can say it. I don't care. Nah, man. Q's cool. You know, we kind of know each other a little bit. So, like, you know, this fight is not necessarily thrilling to me, but, you know, it's a big time opportunity for both of us. It's just, you know, business, really.
Mhm.
Yep.
You sometimes you always have to in this game. You'll eventually have to fight some of the people you've trained with, or possibly had as a former teammate at some point. Especially around this area too. Because Jimmy, you're down in what area now? Are you training down out of?
I train out of Westchester a lot. You know, Cincinnati area. Like
Okay.
I'm closer to Dayton, but I travel down south a little bit for training.
So and you do most of your fights in Kentucky, I think, because I was looking at it, and that's where you're ranked is in Kentucky, because you were actually the number 3 pro welterweight in Kentucky, actually. So is that where you normally fight out of?
I would say majority of my fights have been there, pro and AME.
Mhm.
I mean, I kind of don't care. Like, I'm willing to travel. It doesn't matter. Just I don't know. Just Ohio hasn't given me a ton of luck, so I've just kind of ventured outside of the state. Just for me personally.
Nice. Okay. Um, so tell us about your camp. This one have you had any new additions, big changes in your strategy going into this fight?
I mean, I've kind of trained with some different people over the past few months. So I guess yeah, you could say new additions for sure. And then for this fight, the strategy is a little bit different. Q's a dangerous grappler, so that's what we've been working on. Is just ton of grappling, ton.
Yeah, understandable. Q, I'll pass it over to you. That same question. Any new additions to your team? Big changes in your strategy in this fight?
Man, we've been having a lot of college wrestlers coming to the Defiance Jiu-Jitsu gym, and a lot of good people like brown belts have been showing up too. So grappling with those guys, getting different looks, working on the wrestling, and then just Dylan right now, he's kind of like getting into like really great shape to drop down to welterweight. So he's just a different animal at the moment to deal with. So that's been a big thing.
Okay. What has been the toughest part of your camp, physically and mentally?
Toughest part, I'd say, is doing the like early morning training. Like sometimes you sit there, you're like, cool, wake up at 6, drive, get to practice by 7:15, and then have to like hour of sleep, and you're like, all right, let's go. Not an hour of sleep,
Yeah.
but an hour of like just waking up, trying to get ready, and it was like, all right, we gotta do this.
Yep. Yeah. Jimmy, how about you? Any toughness and physicality mentally area?
Just really more on the mental part. Just trying to keep my win streak going, keeping my mind focused and right. I'm in a great place in literally every area of my life. So I just want to keep that rolling, man, and look for a
Yeah.
big win this weekend.
Awesome. So with that being said, I know you said you had some bad management and you're coming off a win now after some changes. What do you want your fans to know, like, for this fight? What's your statement?
Well, I'm gonna bring it. If I've had a lot of fights, but right now after that win, and especially for this fight, it really feels like I know how to fight for the first time ever. So I'm just looking to bring it. I'm ready, because I just really feel like this is gonna be a really funky fight, man. Like we're both unorthodox, so it's like you really can't train for opponents like us, really. So I'm just gonna try to bring it and keep my mind right.
Awesome. Q, how about you?
Yeah, like Jimmy said, it's hard to train for the fight because you're just like, what? Like you look at video and film, you're like, no one knows what's really gonna happen. It can go either like it can go up, down, striking, standing. Who knows what's gonna happen?
Yeah, nice. Um, so Q, for this fight, are you expecting, if you get this W, to fight for a title, or is that what you're chasing after this fight?
I don't know what's gonna come after this fight. If it is a title, it's a title. If it's a bigger shot of bigger promotion, it's a bigger shot of bigger promotion. Just whatever lands in the lap at the time.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, Jimmy, are you looking to fight for a belt here in the next couple fights of yours?
Oh yeah. Anywhere I go, I want to win, their championship belt. I want to be the best. I want to be at the highest level. For me, I just want to keep my streak going and just, build back to where like I should be. So, whatever happens, I plan to win. I know Q plans to win. But for me, yeah, just, on to the next. I just want to keep getting better and just proving to myself, like, hey, I know how to fight and I know where I need to be at. So I'm just trying to get that.
All right. Now, this is going to be kind of for both you guys, and we'll start with you, Jimmy, on this one. So, in a perfect fight, if this fight went perfectly, how do you see this fight kind of going for you? Like, is it going to be you're going to stand and bang? You're gonna kind of take him to the fence, grind it out, take him down. In a perfect world, how's this fight going to go out for you?
Yeah, I mean, you never know, based on the video, based on Q's style, based on my style, you never know how the fight's going to go. I definitely see it going to the floor. It's going to be, scrambles, funky jiu-jitsu exchanges, with, fundamentals in there too. So, you know, uh, you really never know how it's going to go. I just think it's going to be like a higher level jiu-jitsu match with punches. So, I mean, in a perfect world, yeah, it'd be nice to get a first round finish, but I just really think it's going to go all 3 rounds.
With some high level jiu-jitsu, I can probably see that going. And same thing with UQ. How do you kind of see this going in a perfect world for you? How do you think this is going to kind of fall out? Is it going to, for you, do you think you're going to be able to stand with them? You're going to try to stand with them, or are you going to try to take this to the ground and do it jiu-jitsu style, kind of the way Jimmy said it, he thinks it's going to kind of go?
Perfect world, it's gonna be it's gonna be the most entertaining fight of the night. I'm just gonna put it that way. It's gonna be the most entertaining fight of the night. The perfect world, we're gonna hit every aspect of mixed martial arts. The wrestling, the grappling, the striking.
Yeah, exactly. That is a perfect world, honestly, in my book. At least for me as a promoter, that's what I like to see is you guys showcasing your skills and that stuff. So I'm really hoping you guys can do that. Because that's one thing that I will say we haven't seen, because Q, you fought on our cards before, is no one's really going to stand with you. That's mostly because they can't stand with you, because you get them and you take them to the ground. So are you trying to then showcase your jiu-jitsu skills, or are you going to try to actually work on showcasing your stand-up abilities? Because we've seen you doing kickboxing and winning kickboxing tournaments as well.
We'll see what happens, man. You sit there, you have a plan, and then you're like, you can get hit and be like, well, that plan didn't work, so we're going to switch something else up. Like Mike Tyson said it best, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth, so it could go either way.
Exactly. And then Jimmy, you said that you think it's going to kind of go to the ground. Now, do you have any other because Q has done kickboxing, we've known because we've kind of talked to him before. Have you done any like boxing, kickboxing, anything out on the side and stuff like that to showcase your striking abilities?
I did have a boxing fight, and then I had a bare knuckle fight one time. But that's just boxing. It's definitely not my forte. I wrestled growing up, and that's why I did MMA. Yeah, I've never done kickboxing. I've trained it, but it's just not primarily what I do. I just think we're both grapplers. I just think it's going to be a chess match or wild exchanges on the ground. We'll punch each other, but I just don't really see. It's just not going to go that way. I don't think. Maybe he can keep his distance, but I just think we're gonna, grapple a lot.
Yeah. Jimmy, so what got you into MMA? Where did it all start for you?
Well, I mean, I wrestled my whole life, but that really didn't get me into MMA. I would watch it on TV. I didn't really care, too much for all the fighting stuff. And then like I saw the UFC Tough One with Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner. I'd seen parts of the show, wasn't interested, and I saw that finale fight, and I was like, whoa. I was like, damn. I was like, that's pretty cool. Like, what if I tried to do something like that? And it had always kind of been on my maybe bucket list or mind growing up, but I didn't make that jump until I was about 21.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why not? Let's try it. Like, I don't have competition expectations. I was like, let's just train and see what this is about. And then I just, I fell in love with it. Wrestling was over for me. And I was like, I want to keep competing. So let's try this MMA stuff out.
Nice. Yeah. So you've been very active. So are you active because you like to compete so much and you just want to get in there and compete?
Yeah, for the most part. I'm really confident in myself. I just think like, man, now's my time. Now's my time. But, sometimes, jump the gun. I'd fall short with some decisions. And then I had some really, really bad management, man, that set me back a year and a half. And then when I was finally able to fight again, it was just a disaster because I didn't have that, competition. I didn't have, my focus because he's wanted me to do boxing, MMA, bare knuckle, Muay Thai. And I'm like, okay, let me just focus on one thing. Because if you chase two cats at the same time, you're going to miss both of them. So I fired my manager, and ever since then, I've just been kind of focusing on MMA. Just maybe last year, since around, maybe November-ish time. And, I've still had some setbacks, but this past win that I had, man, my mind's in a very great place that has never been before.
That's good to hear. Hugh, a little bit different question. How's your upbringing shaped you for the way you fight?
Ooh, why? How my upbringing shaped my fight?
Yeah.
Uh, you know, like you learn how to like deal with a lot of stuff, adversity, and all that other good stuff. Like takes like when you like get in fights and like with your friends or like some other random people, you learn how to be able to like, cool, it's pain, it's temporary, it'll go away. Just learning how to deal with pain, helps out from a young age. I was like, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then just being used to just being active and moving. Like I never had like no formal training up till I started training jiu-jitsu, but it'd always be me and my friends just beating the hell out of each other. So it was close enough. There was like two people that actually trained, like they would box every once in a while or grappled. That would always be like winning. So
Nice. So I don't know if you ever thought about this, but like, what's your why? Why do you do this? Why do you get in the cage? Why do you fight?
man, a lot of people ask me that, and it's always just something I've always enjoyed doing and something I'm good at. So, and I enjoy doing it, and I love it. I've always wanted to do something. Like when I was younger, I was like, "Oh, I'll be a pro wrestler," and I was like, "You know what?" You grew up, you're like, maybe not, because these guys are like 6'3", and I'm like 5'10", and I never got the physique for it. But this fighting shit seems cool.
Yeah, fair.
And I liked fighting too, because I'd be watching like Bully Beatdown when I was younger too. So I was like, oh, I like this.
Good show.
Yeah, and I'd be playing the video games. Like, shit, let's try it. Like, let's give this a shot.
Yeah, nice. Jamie, I'll pass that over to you. What's your why to get in the cage?
I want to be the best, everywhere I go. And for me, mostly, just, I come from a really small town. I've always had a big chip on my shoulder. People just kind of look over us, and I'm like, well, small town people can, be big time too. It doesn't matter if you're in, a big city, like New York City, LA, Columbus, don't matter. I'm like, if you want to work hard, if you have that drive, you can be something. And that's, that's always been my mindset growing up. And that's really my why, is to, raise the bar for the people from my hometown to kind of look at me as like, all right, you know, he did this. Let me see if I can go one step further than him.
Okay. All right. Now we're going to kind of come to a close here on this interview here, guys. So what I want to do is I want to give you guys an opportunity here to give some shout outs, maybe to your sponsors or some fans or anybody that you want to. Jimmy, we'll start with you. Do you have any shout outs to any of your sponsors or anyone like that?
No, I don't have any sponsors right now. I've just kind of put those to the side. I've just really just tried to focus, you know, my mind, you know, on myself, what I need to do, how to take care of business, and then just following, you know, in my beliefs and, you know, Christianity and Jesus Christ. So that's, you know, those are my anchors right there. People I want to shout out to though are, you know, guys, you know, that's helped me in my training camp, Seiken Martial Arts, Queen City Grappling Club, and, you know, my close teammates. We've got Hunter Frazier, Sky Gooden, and Alex Burkett. You know, those are like the three main guys for me. You know, I've added other people in there, Elijah Woodruff, Liam Hamill, and Roger Bowling. You know, those guys are helping me a lot. And, you know, just feels like I know how to fight for the first time now. So I just want to thank, you know, all of them. And then, you know, in my personal life, I just want to thank my girlfriend, you know, she keeps my head on straight and, you know, keeps me focused. And that's another anchor that I have in my life.
That's good. That's good. Good. And you, Q, do you have anyone you want to shout out? Any sponsors you need to shout out to?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to KPD Renovations and Builders, Fallen Oak Tattoo Studios, Nails by Kenna, and Sons of American Legion, Squadron 300. Thank you guys for helping me out and making this be able to happen.
Okay. Well, Jimmy, we'll let you get back to training. We've taken up a good chunk of your time. I think you're probably all well rested to get back in there and wrestle with everybody. And Q, I'm sure you probably got some kind of training or something crazy to do, knowing you. So we'll let you guys go. And we want to say thank you guys. And
Yes,
we're excited to have you guys on the card here. June 28th, Carnage Fight Series 2, Richards versus Sandlin. Everybody come and check it out. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, can't get your tickets, you guys can watch this at carnagemediappv.com for the pay-per-view. So we want to appreciate it. And we'll talk to you guys. Well, I'll see you guys Friday for weigh-ins. So I'm excited to see you guys in person.
Yep.
We'll catch you guys later.
Have a good night.
See you guys.
So,
Man,
great.
I guess business as usual. That's what I'm getting the vibe. Like, hey, I'm going in there getting this done.
Yeah, they seem very respectful to each other. You know, it wasn't like our one interview where they're sitting there trash talking the entire time. So,
yeah, they're both just handled professionally. They know, hey, it's just business. I got to go in there and handle myself.
Yeah, and I love it. You know, you can have either one. You know, I don't get me wrong. I love the let's attack each other. Let's make it real. High intensity. And then you've got the two pros like this, you know, that are veterans and that have been in the game for a while, and they understand this is business. I'm going to respect my opponent, but I'm going to go in there and I'm going to dominate. That's just kind of how that mentality is that I feel like I saw between those two. So I'm excited to see that unfold. And